He would always pee in the car. No matter if I just offered right before we got in the car. Hi, my name is Lauren. I am a certified Go Diaper Free coach. And today I'm going to share the story of EC with my son who always peed in the car. And we started EC with our firstborn son at 12 months. Now, he picked up on EC pretty quickly. We caught a pee within the first day and then a poop within the first 2 days. And I was hooked. He was happy and everything was going pretty smoothly. After a couple weeks, I think we were catching about 100%, almost 100% of the poops. And for pees, we were catching maybe 50%. So by the time he was 17 months old, things were going so smoothly that I was ready to ditch diapers. So I think what helped during this time was that our daily routine was pretty predictable. We did pretty much the same things every day. I was also pregnant during this time, so I was just starting my 3rd trimester. Doing potty training when you're pregnant, I will say, even though it's a little challenging, I'd much rather do it with a 1-year-old than a 3-year-old because our babies get heavy. So we totally ditched diapers at 17.5 months. Now, of course, with this, at any age, you're going to have accidents, so you want to be prepared for those accidents. What I began doing was, before we would go out, I would offer the potty to them. So a potty-tunity, an opportunity to go potty. Now, you don't make them sit there until they go, but you simply offer, maybe at a 1.5-year-old, maybe wait 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and okay, you don't have to go. Let's move on with their day. So I would offer right before we went to church in the morning. And this is most days, every day. Church is 5 minutes away. And so I'm okay, we don't need a potty him right when we get here because I just pottied him 5 minutes ago. And then I would offer the potty right before we left. Again, another 5-minute drive back. He would always pee in the car. No matter if I just offered right before we got in the car, or even I had the little mini potty. I think sometimes we would get in the car in our little Prius and I would potty him right before I put him in his car seat. And I'm okay, here's your opportunity. Here's your chance. You could go pee now, so that way you don't have to go in the car. And without fail, every single time he would pee in the car in the 5-minute drive home. I was at a loss of what do I do? Because I did not want to go back to diapers, but I also didn't want wet pants all the time, especially if we're going to the grocery store or going to my midwife's appointment and he's showing up with wet pants. Our midwife appointments, they were a half hour away, and so I would potty him right before we go, but then of course we would get there and he would have soaked pants, and then I'd feel like a fool because here I am, a Go Diaper Free coach, and my son's walking in the appointment and I am on potty training, and I'm gosh, I knew that if I put him back in diapers, it would confuse the heck out of him. And he wouldn't know well, is it okay that I go? Is it not okay? Okay, the diaper's back on, so now I can. So now mom's saying it's okay to pee in my pants again? Okay, this works for me. So I did not want to confuse him. I did not want to go back to diapers. So I needed a solution, him wearing something that still gave him the awareness of being wet, but also didn't leak all over his pants and the car seat, and then I have to wash the car seat again. I knew at tinyundies.com there were these things called Tiny Ups. Now, I never heard of them before, and they're only on tinyundies.com. But I read that there was a way to keep pee off the floor and keep pee off of pants and could solve this problem that I was dealing with of just always wet pants in the car. Now, these are tiny trainers. They will hold about a medium-sized pee. But if there's more pee than that, then you need extra protection. So that's where Tiny Ups come in. So these are a cloth pull-up cover. So if you think of a cloth diaper cover without the insert, these are similar, except you can put them on standing up. So if your child is standing, then you can use these. These are size large. And they also button on the sides. So what I ended up doing, I would put tiny trainers on my son, and then I would put Tiny Ups right over the trainers. And then I would pull up his pants. And so he had this extra protection that in case he did have an accident or he wet his pants when we were driving in a 5-minute drive, the car seat would be protected. Pretty much his pants would be protected too. So I will demonstrate on this guy. I would put the trainers on, and then I would put the Tiny Ups on. So this gave him complete protection from any accidents he would have. When I would get to my destination, if he had wet the trainers, the Tiny Ups would catch the rest. and so it didn't go on his pants. All I would do, I'm like, okay, let's go to the bathroom. Let's take these off. So we go to the bathroom, like, okay, you're wet. Now I have the wet trainers and the wet Tiny Ups. Put them in a wet dry bag. This is also from tinyundies.com. So you put them in the wet pocket, you zip it up, you put on a dry pair of trainers and then Tiny Ups, another pair of Tiny Ups if you'd like. Then when you get home, you throw this in the wash. You can keep other trainers and Tiny Ups in here for that, or you could use this for cloth diapers as well. Now, these are also great for if you are going somewhere for the holidays or an event coming up and you don't want your child to wear diapers, but you still want protection from the floor or from the car seat or anything like that where you're like a little bit nervous. Maybe you're going to visit your family or your parents over the holidays and they have carpet and you know that they can be a little bit like conscientious about their carpets. You want to keep your carpets clean. Tiny Ups, they are the way to go. They are the only solution that I found that I knew would still give my son the awareness because he's wearing these tiny trainers. So they gave him the awareness of being wet, but also kept pee off the floor. Like, I don't remember them even hitting his pants at all either. So they protected the pants, they protected the floor, and they solved my problem of my kiddo having accidents in the car. And eventually he grew out of it, and so then we could take these off. Now the Tiny Ups come in small, medium, and large. I believe I had the large. These are the size large. And then the tiny trainers go for the roomier sizes because they are now the size of your baby. That is the story of my 18-month-old son and his car ride accidents and how I solved them. So go to tinyundies.com, get yourself a pair of tiny trainers and tiny undies if you have a situation like this, and keep pee off the car seat, keep pee off the pants, and keep pee off the carpet. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.